Hello friends, welcome to our RV YouTube channel. In today's session 15 of electric drives and control, we are going to discuss about three-phase fully controlled rectifier fed separately excited DC motor drive under regenerative braking. In our previous session 14, we have discussed the same circuit configuration for the motoring mode, that means in the first quadrant mode. Now we are going to discuss about the regenerative braking. That means we have to consider our firing angle greater than 90 degrees. Okay, that means our firing angle range should be between 90 degrees to 180 degrees. Okay, so here we are going to consider our firing angle as alpha is equal to 120 degrees. Alpha is equal to 120 degrees. Okay, we are going to consider our alpha as 120 degrees, which is of greater than 90 degree. So now let us discuss about this operation. So this is our circuit diagram. So you can see a circuit diagram at the leftmost end. So we have discussed about this circuit diagram in detail in our session 14. So let us move on to the operation. So in operation, see, we have this waveform. Here it is of a three-phase sinusoidal input voltage. So in our session 14, we have discussed in detail how to draw this three-phase input line voltage. So straight away, we will move on to the output voltages. So how to draw the output voltages. So for that, first let us consider the line voltage VAB, which is marked in the red color. Okay, the line voltage VAB. So the line voltage VAB becomes more positive at 120 degrees, right? Sorry, the 60 degrees. Sorry, the 60 degrees. See, I am marking here. The line voltage VAB becomes more positive at 60 degrees. So from here we have to leave 120 degrees, which is of our firing angle. So 120 degrees of firing angle plus 60 becomes 180. Okay, 180 degrees. So at this 180 degrees, the thyristors corresponding to the line voltage VAB comes into the conduction. Okay, so please look at the circuit diagram 1. Okay, please look at the circuit diagram 1. Here the thyristors corresponding to the line voltage VAB is given as T1 and T6. Okay, therefore the thyristors T1 and T6 comes into the conduction at an angle of 180 degrees corresponding to the line voltage VAB. Okay, and the next line voltage is VAC. Okay, so this VAC becomes more positive at 120 degrees. See here, 120 degrees I am marking. So the line voltage becomes more positive at 120 degrees, and we have to leave one more 120 degrees, which is of our firing angle. So 120 plus 120 becomes 240 degrees. So at an angle of 240 degrees, our thyristors corresponding to the line voltage VAC comes into the conduction. So please look at the circuit diagram 2 here. Please look at the circuit diagram 2. The thyristors are T1 and T2 corresponding to the line voltage VAC. So the thyristors T1 and T2 will come into the conduction at an angle of 240 degrees. The next line voltage is VBC. Okay. VB. Yeah, VBC. So here VBC becomes more positive at 180 degrees. Can you see the line voltage VBC becomes more positive at 180 degrees. Let me mark in the different color. So VBC, can you see here? See, I am marking here VBC in yellow color. I am marking in yellow color. VBC becomes more positive at 180 degrees, and we have to leave one more 120 degrees. So 180 plus 120 becomes 300. So at an angle of 300, our thyristors correspond. See, I am marking here at an angle of 300. At an angle of 300 degrees, the thyristors corresponding to the line voltage VBC comes into the conduction. So see at the circuit diagram 3. Please see at the circuit diagram 3. In circuit diagram 3, the thyristors are T3 and T2. Okay. So the thyristors T3 and T2 corresponding to the line voltage VBC comes into the conduction at an angle of 300 degrees. And the next line voltage is VBA. Okay, so VBA becomes more positive at 240 degrees. Okay, so let me mark in the red color. So VBA becomes more positive at 240 degrees here, which I am marking in red color, 240 degrees. From here we have to leave 120. So 240 plus 120 becomes 360 degrees. So at an angle of 360 degrees, see I am marking in the red color here. So at an angle of 360 degrees, the thyristors corresponding to the line voltage VBA comes into the conduction. So please look at the circuit diagram 4 at the left hand side. The thyristors are T3 and T4. Okay. The thyristors are T3 and T4 corresponding to the line voltage VBA comes into the conduction at an angle of 360 degrees. So the next line voltage is VCA. Okay, VCA becomes more positive at 300 degrees, which I am going to mark in blue color. Okay, see VCA, which becomes more positive at an angle of 300 degrees. From here we have to leave 120 degrees of firing angle. So 300 plus 120 becomes 420. So here I am marking in the blue color. So at an angle of 420 degrees, the thyristors corresponding to the line voltage VCA comes into the conduction. So please look at the circuit diagram 5. The thyristors are T5 and T4. Okay, T5 and T4 are the thyristors corresponding to the line voltage VCA comes into the conduction at an angle of 420 degrees. And the next line voltage is VCB, okay, which I am going to mark in yellow color. Okay, the next line voltage is VCB. So VCB becomes more positive. See, I am marking in yellow color here. The VCB line voltage becomes more positive at 360 degrees. Okay, I am marking in yellow color at 360 degrees. So the line voltage VCB becomes more positive at 360. From here we have to leave 120 degrees. So 360 plus 120 becomes 480. So at an angle of 480, see I am marking in yellow color here, at an angle of 480, the thyristors corresponding to the line voltage VCB comes into the conduction. So please look at the circuit 6. So in circuit 6, the thyristors are T5 and T6, right? So T5 and T6 are connected across the line voltage VCB, which comes into the conduction at an angle of 480. And the next line voltage is VAB. That means the new cycle starts here. So the VAB becomes more positive at 420. See, let me mark in the red color here. See here, I am marking in the red color at an angle of 420 degrees, where the line voltage VAB becomes more positive. So from here we have to leave 120 degrees of firing angle. So 420 plus 120 becomes 540. So at an angle of 540, see, which I am marking in red color here at an angle of 540, the thyristors corresponding to the line voltage VAB comes into the conduction. So please look at the circuit diagram 1. Please look at the circuit diagram 1. The thyristors are T1 and T6. Therefore, the thyristors T1 and T6, which are connected across the line voltage VAB, comes into the conduction at an angle of 540 degrees, from where the new cycle starts. So based on this thyristor conduction angles, let us mark the output voltages. So first let us discuss about the line voltage VAB, that means the thyristors T1 and T6. Okay, T1 and T6. So for that, please look at the circuit diagram 1. The current, armature current, starts from the terminal A, which enters into the thyristor T1 and motor and T6 and enters into the terminal B. So if you apply KVL to this loop, we will get VA is equal to VAB. Okay, if we apply KVL to this loop, we will get VA is equal to VAB. That means from 180 degrees to 240 degrees, which I am marking in red color here, from 180 degrees to 240 degrees, the output voltage VA is equal to VAB. Okay, so let me mark in the black color in the input line voltage itself, in order to make you understand clearly. So from 180 degrees to 240 degrees, right? Because at 240 degrees, the next pair of thyristors comes into the conduction. So this will be our output voltage. Just we have to follow the input line voltage VAB from 180 degrees to 240 degrees. So let me mark this in our output voltage curve VA in our red color. So from here to up to here. Okay, so which is in the negative side, right? So this is 180 degree, right? And this is 240 degrees. Okay, and here let us mark the current also. So here the current flows through the thyristors T1 and T6. Here this is the line voltage. Output voltage is nothing but VA is equal to VAB. Okay, so now let us move on to the next line voltages thyristors. The thyristors T1 and T2. So here for this, look at the circuit diagram 2. Please look at the circuit diagram 2. Here the armature current IA starts from terminal A and enters into the thyristor T1 and into motor and T2 and ends at the terminal C. So if we apply KVL to this loop, we will get VA is equal to VAC. Okay, if we apply KVL to this loop, we will get VA is equal to VAC. That means output voltage is nothing but the input line voltage VAC. So this is from the angle 240 degrees to 300 degrees. So from 240 degrees to 300 degrees, let me mark in the black color in the input line voltage. See, this is our 240 degrees and this is our 300 degrees. So just we have to follow the line voltage VAC, okay, as our output voltage. See, I am marking in the black color. So this is our output voltage. So let me mark separately in the output voltage curve in the blue color. Okay, so from this is 300 degrees, right? So from 240 to 300 degrees. So it looks like somewhat like this, right? So this is our VAC output voltage. So let us mark the current for this. So the current flows through the thyristors T1 and T2. And now let us move on to the third one about the thyristors T2 and T3. I mean T3 and T2 corresponding to the line voltages VBC. Okay. So for that, please look at the circuit 3. Please look at the circuit 3. So the armature current IA starts at the terminal B, enters into the thyristor T3 and enters into the motor and enters into the thyristor T2 and ends at the terminal C. So if we apply KVL to this loop, we will get VA is equal to VBC. Okay, if we apply KVL to this loop, we will get the output voltage as VBC, input line voltage VBC. So from 300 to 360 degrees. Okay, let me mark in the black in the input line voltage. So from 300 degrees to 360 degrees. Okay, the output voltage is VBC. That means we have to follow just the VBC input line voltage as our output voltage. Okay, from 300 degrees to 360 degrees, just we have to follow what? The input line voltage VBC as our output voltage. Okay, so now let us extend or let us draw this separately in our output voltage also, which I am going to mark in yellow color. Okay, in yellow color. So which is something like this. Okay, so this is our 360 degrees. The output voltage is VBC. Okay, the output voltage is VBC. Now let us mark the output voltage of the thyristors. Sorry, now let us mark the current flow also. So the current flows in the thyristors T3 and T2. Okay, now let us mark the output voltage corresponding to the line voltage VCA. Okay, or the thyristors VBA. Okay, VBA, the thyristors T3 and T4. So for this, please look at the circuit 4. Please verify the circuit 4 in which the armature current starts from the terminal B, enters into the thyristor T3 and the motor and T4 and ends at the terminal A. Okay, if you apply KVL to this loop, we will get VA is equal to VBA. That means our output voltage VA is nothing but the input voltage called VBA. So now I am going to mark in black color in the input line voltage. So from 360 degrees to 420 degrees. Okay, just you have to follow this VBA curve. Okay, just we have to follow what? The input line voltage VBA to obtain our output voltage from 360 degrees to 420. So let us mark this separately in our output voltage curve. So this is our 420 degrees, right? So now let me mark in the red color from 360 degrees to 420 degrees. Okay. So this is our output voltage VBA. Let us mark the current flow also. So the current flows through the thyristors T3 and T4. Okay. T3 and T4. And now let us mark the output voltage corresponding to the line voltage VCA. That means the thyristors T5 and T4. Okay. That means from 420 degrees to 480 degrees. Okay. So now let us for this we are look into the circuit diagram 5. Please look at the circuit diagram 5. So our armature current starts at the terminal C, enters into the thyristor T5 and into the motor and T4 and ends at the terminal A. So if you apply KVL to this loop, we will get VA is equal to VCA. That means our output voltage is equal to the input line voltage VCA. That means from 420 degrees to 480 degrees. Okay, let me mark in the black color. From 420 degrees to 480 degrees, just we have to follow the input line voltage VCA. So this is our input line voltage VCA, right? So just we have to follow this from 420 degrees to 480 degrees to obtain our output voltage. So now let us mark this separately in our output line voltage, output voltage curve. Okay, which I am going to mark in blue color. So the shape is like this, right? From the above black color marked. So this is our output voltage VCA. Okay. So the current flows through the thyristors T5 and T4. Okay. The current flows through the thyristors T5 and T4. So now let us mark the output voltage corresponding to the line voltage VCB. Okay. So for this, please look at the circuit 6. Please look at the circuit 6. The armature current starts at the terminal C, enters into the thyristor T5 and motor and T6 and ends at the terminal B. So if you apply KVL to this loop, we will get the output voltage VA is equal to the input line voltage VCB. That means from 480 degrees to 540 degrees. Okay. From 480 degrees to 540 degrees, we have to just follow the input line voltage VCB. Okay. So let me mark in the yellow color. So from 480 degrees, let me mark in the black color. Sorry. So from 480 degrees to 540 degrees, just we have to follow the line voltage VCB, because in our circuit 6 we have obtained our output voltage as, please look at the circuit 6. In our circuit 6 we have obtained our output voltage as what? The input line voltage VCB. So just we have to follow the input line voltage VCB in order to obtain our output voltage. So this is 540, right? So now let me mark separately in the yellow color. So from 480 degrees to 540 degrees. Okay. So this is our line voltage VCB. Okay. VCB. And the current flow through the thyristors T5 and T6. Okay. So at an angle of 540 degrees, again the new cycle starts. That means the thyristors T1 and T6 comes into the conduction. So this is how we can make the output voltage for alpha is equal to 120 degrees. Okay. So now let us draw the quadrants of planes based on this output voltage and the output current. Okay. So here this is our VA axis and this is our IA axis. Okay. So if you look at the output voltage, see, please look at the curve VA. Please look at the waveform VA. Here if you look at the output voltage at VA, this is negative side, right? So the output voltage is negative. And look, please look at the current, armature current IA, it is positive, right? See, can you see? In our armature current IA is positive, whereas our armature voltage is negative. So which comes into the quadrant 4. So in quadrant 4, what happens is our armature voltage is negative, whereas our armature current is positive. That means it comes into the fourth quadrant called reverse regenerative braking. Okay, reverse regenerative braking. So in this reverse regenerative braking, the power flows from load to the source. In our previous session 14, we have saw about forward motoring. When our firing angle alpha was less than 90 degrees, we got forward motoring. That means the power flows from source to the load. Okay, in this session, we have considered our firing angle as greater than 90 degree, which is of equal to 120 degrees. So at this condition, what is happening is the quadrant of operation falls in the fourth quadrant. That is nothing but the reverse regenerative braking. Here what happens is the power flows from load to the source. There will be regeneration of power. Here this motor tries to act as a generator. So these things we have already discussed in detail while discussing about our single phase fully controlled rectifier. Okay. So now let us do the mathematical analysis of this thing. That means let us derive the average output voltage of the rectifier and speed torque relationship. So here average output voltage of the rectifier is how many pulses we have produced here for one full cycle. We have produced 6 pulses, right? See, please look at the VA curve. Please look at the output voltage VA or the armature voltage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, right? So totally we have produced 6 pulses for one full cycle called 2 pi. Integration of. So let us take our first pulse called VAB. Okay, VAB. So VAB starts at which degrees? 180 degrees. See, please look at here. Our VAB starts at 180 degrees. Okay, 180 degrees. So please look at the average output voltage VA. Please look at the VA curve. Our VAB starts at what? 180 degrees and ends at where? 240 degrees. Right? Ends at 240 degrees. D of omega t. Okay. This is whenever firing angle is greater than 90 degrees. That means this is for our firing angle alpha is equal to 120 degrees, right? In our previous session 14, okay, in our previous session 14, let me draw that output voltage VAB alone for your convenience here. So this is our armature output voltage VA and here it is our omega t. So our output voltage was something like this. Okay, please if you need more details about this, please look at the session 14. So here this is of 90 degrees and this is of 150 degrees. Okay, this is for the line voltage VAB. Okay, just I have redrawn that one pulse alone. We have made 6 pulses in our previous session 14, but just I have drawn only one pulse called VAB, which starts at 90 degrees and ends at 150 degrees. So there also we have produced how many pulses? 6 pulses for a full cycle, and which starts at this VAB starts at where? 90 degrees, right? Can you look at this diagram here? Which starts at 90 degrees and ends at which degrees? 150 degrees, right? Our VAB ends at 150 degrees. VAB D of omega t. So this is for alpha is equal to how many degrees? 30 degrees, right? In our previous session 14, we have considered for the firing angle alpha is equal to 30 degrees. That means for less than 90 degrees. So these two equations can be written as VA is equal to 6 by 2 pi integration of alpha plus pi by 3 to alpha plus 2 pi by 3 VAB D of omega t. See, alpha plus pi by 3 means what? First let us discuss about the lower limit. Okay, alpha plus pi by 3 means 180 by 3 is 60. 60 plus our firing angle is 120. So 120 plus 60 became how many degrees? 180 degrees, right? And the upper limit 2 pi by 3 means how much? 120 degrees, right? And plus our firing angle 120. So 120 plus 120 becomes how much? 240 degrees, right? And Now let us verify for this alpha is equal to 30 degrees also. So here 180 by, first let us speak about the lower limit. Lower limit is 180 by 3 is 60. 60 plus our firing angle is 30 degrees. So 60 plus 30 becomes how much? 90 degrees, right? Similarly 2 pi by 3 means 120. And 120 plus our firing angle is 30. So 120 plus 30, how much? 150. So here upper limit is what? 150 degrees. So this derivation, the derivation which I am making here is valid for all the firing angles. Okay. So you can make use the same derivation for any firing angles from 0 degrees to 180 degrees. Okay. So that is what I wanted to instruct here. Okay. So now the next step is and let us move on to the derivations. So VAB is equal to Vm sin omega t d of omega t. So just substitute this VAB in the above expression. We will get 6 by 2 pi integration of alpha plus pi by 3 to alpha plus 2 by pi 3 Vm sin omega t d of omega t. Okay. Now let us integrate this equation. Va is equal to, here this will cancel and here we will get 3, and taking Vm as constant term, 3 Vm by pi. Integration of sin omega t is nothing but minus cos omega t. The limits are alpha plus pi by 3 to alpha plus 2 pi by 3. Okay. Now let us apply the upper limit and lower limit. 3 Vm by pi minus cos, upper limit is alpha plus 2 pi by 3, and while applying the lower limit we have to add one minus, and already there is one minus here, so minus to minus, plus cos, instead of omega t you have to apply our lower limit which is alpha plus pi by 3. Okay. So now this equation can be written as Va is equal to 3 Vm by pi cos of alpha plus pi by 3 minus cos of alpha plus 2 pi by 3. Okay. So let this equation be 1 here. Okay. So we know that cos A minus cos B is equal to minus 2 sin of A plus B by 2 minus 2 sin of A plus B by 2 into sin of A minus B by 2. Okay. Sin of A minus B by 2. So let us try to find cos of alpha plus pi by 3 minus cos of alpha plus 2 pi by 3. Okay. So here this is A and this is B. Okay. So if we apply this formula here, we will get minus 2 sin of, instead of A we have to substitute alpha plus pi by 3, and plus instead of B we have to apply we have to substitute alpha plus 2 pi by 3 whole divided by 2 into sin of A. Instead of A again it is alpha plus pi by 3, and here it is minus. So introducing minus, and we have to substitute our B. B is nothing but alpha plus 2 pi by 3 and whole divided by 2. Okay. So what happens is cos of alpha plus pi by 3 minus cos of alpha plus 2 pi by 3, which is equal to minus 2 sin of alpha plus alpha becomes 2 alpha plus pi by 3 plus 2 pi by 3 becomes 3 pi by 3 whole divided by 2 into sin of, here alpha plus pi by 3, and this becomes minus alpha minus 2 pi by 3, right, whole divided by 2. So now cos of alpha plus pi by 3 minus cos of alpha plus 2 pi by 3 which is equal to minus 2 sine. Here 3 will get cancelled with each other. Therefore 2 alpha plus pi whole divided by 2 sine of, here alpha get cancels with each other, and pi by 3 minus 2 pi by 3 gives us minus pi by 3 whole divided by 2. Okay, and which is equal to again minus 2 sine. So divide this by 2. What happens is alpha plus pi by 2. Okay, just we are dividing by this 2 which is in the denominator. So therefore it becomes alpha plus pi by 2, and here it becomes sine of minus pi by 6. Okay, 3 into 2 becomes minus sine pi by 6. So which is equal to again here sine of 90 plus theta. Okay, sine of 90 plus theta is cos theta. Okay, therefore it becomes minus 2 cos alpha, and here sine of minus theta becomes minus sine theta. Okay, sine of minus theta becomes minus sine theta. Therefore here it becomes minus sine pi by 6. Okay, minus sine pi by 6. So which is nothing but minus to minus becomes 2 cos alpha into sine pi by 6. Okay, so again here the value of sine pi by 6 is equal to 1 by 2. Okay, the value of sine pi by 6 is nothing but 1 by 2. Therefore substituting that, we will get 2 cos alpha into 1 by 2. So 2 gets cancelled with each other, which is equal to cos alpha. Therefore the value of cos of alpha plus pi by 3 minus cos of alpha plus 2 pi by 3 is equal to how much? Cos alpha. So let this be equation 2. So now let us substitute this equation 2 in 1. Okay, substitute this equation 2 in 1. So for that, let us write the equation 1 once again. So let me show you the equation 1 once again. So equation 1 is, see, please refer here equation 1. Please, can you see here the equation 1, which is nothing but VA is equal to 3 Vm by pi cos of alpha plus pi by 3 minus cos of alpha plus 2 pi by 3. So let us write that equation 1 once again here. Okay, so 1 is nothing but VA is equal to 3 Vm by pi into cos of alpha plus pi by 3 minus cos of alpha plus 2 pi by 3. Okay, so this is our equation 1. Now let us substitute that 2 in 1. So what happens is 3 Vm by pi. So if we substitute instead of this our equation 2, which is nothing but cos alpha. Okay, so this is our equation 3. So the average output voltage of the rectifier is nothing but VA is equal to 3 Vm by pi cos alpha. Okay. So for a DC motor, VA is equal to E plus IA RA, right? For a DC motor, VA is equal to E plus IA RA. So let this be equation 4. And here we know that E is equal to K into omega M. Okay, let this be equation 5. And IA is nothing but P by K, right? So let this be equation 6. So substitute 3, 5 and 6 in equation 4. So what happens is, instead of VA we have to substitute 3 Vm by pi cos alpha. Okay, 3 Vm by pi cos alpha. Instead of E we have to substitute K omega M. Instead of IA we have to substitute P by K into RA. Okay, here our main intention is to find the speed omega M. So 3 Vm by pi cos alpha. So taking this T by K RA left hand side, it becomes minus T by K RA. which is equal to K into omega m. Therefore, omega m is 3 Vm by pi K cos alpha minus T by, here there is one K, and bringing that K to the left hand side, K into K becomes K square into Re. So this is our speed torque relation, which is very important equation. So let this be equation 7. Okay, so now here our main intention is to what? Find the or the control the speed, right? So we want to control the speed of a DC drive. So if you want to control the speed of a DC drive, we have to change the firing angle. Therefore, what happens is the speed is getting controlled. From equation 7, if you change the firing angle alpha, the speed of the drive gets changes. Almost it is it is a armature voltage control method, right? So when you change the firing angle, right? When you change the firing angle, what happens is our average output voltage of the rectifier changes. When the average output voltage of the rectifier changes, the armature voltage of the motor changes. When the armature voltage of the motor changes, the speed changes. So this is how the speed can be controlled by means of using a 3-phase fully controlled rectifier. So for which now let us draw a speed torque characteristics. Okay. So this is going to be our speed axis and this is going to be our torque axis. So a typical speed torque characteristics of a DC motor drive is like this, right? With a little bit drooping characteristics, and this is for firing angle alpha is equal to 0. Now for some reasons I want to reduce the speed. So what I can do is I can increase the firing angle. So let me say something like that. I have increased the firing angle from 0 degrees to 60 degrees. See here in this characteristics you can see that the speed is getting reduced when the firing angle alpha is increased. Little bit still I want to decrease the speed so that I can increase the firing angle little bit and little bit. So when our firing angle becomes greater than 90 degree, the operation comes in the 4th quadrant, right? So that is what I have drawn here. And whenever the firing angle is less than 90 degree, it is in the 1st quadrant called forward motoring, right? And here it is reverse regenerative braking, where its firing angle is greater than 90 degree. Okay, so and so on, alpha is equal to 140 and so on. Okay, so this is how we can control the speed of a DC motor drive by means of using a 3-phase fully controlled rectifier. Thank you.